Hi guys, it's 20sim and welcome to today's speed build. So yes, I'm aware this is the first speed build I'm doing after 6 months of no YouTube. It has taken me a while to get back into building as I've had so much on my plate and life's been super busy, but now I have a lot more free time on my hands and I'm excited to just get back into building, and I do have a bunch of new videos lined up to share and talk about. And when I say talk about, I'm still experimenting with voiceovers. I don't know, I feel like with speed builds they're usually a lot longer as videos in comparison to a stop motion video, for example, and those ones are easier. They work out to be about 15 minutes, if that. So if I did a voiceover for stop motion, it would be like the perfect length, but obviously these speed builds can be really lengthy, and regardless of how much I edit it, it always works out to be roughly around half an hour, if not 40 minutes. So yeah, I think talking the whole way through it is quite long, but it is possible if you're a chatty Cathy. So yeah, today's speed build video is a classy suburban home, and I call it classy because I think the family that lives here, I kind of envision them to be a bit more on the classy side. We have a outdoor, like an outbuilding, I think that's what it's called, yeah, an outbuilding, and that is essentially a converted, I guess, garage or shed, and this is the mum's yoga studio. And I felt that like the story of this family could have been something along the lines of a mum and a dad and grown-up children. As for the number of children, that can be maybe 3, but this house does have 3 bedrooms, so I'm thinking more in a 2 range. But yeah, I figured this family would have maybe adult children or ones who are a bit more grown up, at least over the age of 16, as there isn't anything in the back garden that indicates, having a young child. I didn't put a paddling pool or monkey bars or anything like that in there. There's just simply a backyard with a grill, a table for the family, and a swimming pool. And then obviously the outbuilding, and that pretty much makes up the back garden. So I didn't want to add anything that was too kid specific. It's a bit more of a mature family that live here. But yeah, with that being said, my mindset behind the design for this house, it pretty much came from a picture that I saw on Pinterest, and that was for the front part of the house, but the color schemes and everything were very, very different. But I knew I wanted it to feel like a typically American suburban home, or maybe Canadian suburban. I think that's what I was trying to go for, and I knew that I wanted to have like a set color, and for that I used I think they're the plain pastel coloured walls, like right at the start of the wall menu, and I kind of used it in this like browny beige shade. And then I knew I wanted to contrast that with some siding and some brickwork, of course, and when I added it, it just came together so nicely. I was really impressed with how the shape of the house turned out and just how everything fell in place. I like to be able to do that because it obviously means that when I'm building and therefore editing the video, it turns out to just be a bit more seamless. Like there's not so much like chopping of stuff, and yeah, it's a bit more easy to watch. But yeah, I can explain why I've been away for so long. It's pretty much been a very, very busy last 6 months, but I also ran into issues with my computer, and I was really struggling to get my DX11 update. I'm aware that this update came a long time ago, but for me, every time I tried to run my game in DX11, I would run into issues with my reshade, and some of my shaders weren't working, and that obviously affects the graphics quality and just how my screen looks, and I didn't want to record without having any reshades. So it was just a whole thing, and it just wasn't working for me for the longest time, and I eventually got it to work, and now my game looks like this. If you are wondering how my game looks so bright, it is the reshade, and I am using my own reshade preset. um if you would like to have it or to be able to download it, I can always initiate a file upload, and you guys can use that and toggle it to your liking. But yeah, I must say I'm really impressed with like the DX11 update. It has made a massive difference to the game quality, and the graphics just, it's a lot smoother, and it's nice for people who might not have like extremely high processing computers. I do have a pretty high processing laptop that I play The Sims on, and it's very capable of editing and playing and doing all sorts. It rarely ever crashes, which is all that I can ask for right now, and I'm hoping and praying it doesn't anytime soon. Otherwise I've jinxed myself. But as you can see, I'm just doing the landscaping now, and again, this was something that I wanted to kind of try something different with. Usually I would use the low-lying pale yellow flowers, and I would use them to kind of frame most of my landscaping, but I wanted to experiment with a little bit more realism. And when I say realism, I mean adding a lot more grass and stuff. Sometimes I used to add grass to my builds and it wouldn't feel very realistic. But I think we've got some really nice grass that came with or it's like you can find it in a debug menu or the live edit menu, and I was just scrolling through there to see if there's anything that I could find that I might really enjoy the look of, and I found this grass, and there's also the like long little strips of grass. I can't remember what pack they've come with or if they're base game. I use them in this build to kind of frame up most of my walls and like frame alongside the house. I just wanted it to feel as though the house had kind of been like dunked on a place or dunked on a lot, and then you've got grass coming up either side, so it kind of gets overgrown, but it's a little bit more realistic, because for a tamed garden you either want your garden to have long grass but it's structured and neat, or you have shorter grass. And we do have shorter grass. I think there was square and rounded patches that came with Island Living, but I think those are really green, and I have used them before in like my modern builds and stuff, but I don't know if they add the same kind of vibe. But again, it's all about experimenting, and I was really happy with the look of this front yard. I like the double or the dual pathway to enter the house. It's not just one path. I think when you've got two of them, it looks a little bit like a mini mansion, I guess you could call it. Like, I'm thinking of those mansions and they'll have two paths and then they'll join in the middle, and it'll be like a fountain in the middle or a nice feature, plants. That's kind of what I was envisioning for this build, but obviously it's a bit more relaxed and urbanized. But yeah, I think that the landscaping of this house just came together really nicely. The design for the garden, like the shape of it, there wasn't too much garden space. I think I pretty much used the space of this house really nicely. This is the yoga studio that I am currently working on at the moment, and I think I wanted this family, obviously as I said before, it's a more mature family, and I kind of had the mindset of the mum being more freelance and the mum being a yoga instructor or doing yoga classes from home and maybe live streaming. She could be on YouTube. That one is up to you. But I kind of went with that idea as it's something that I figured a middle-aged woman would be able to do with her free time if she's really interested in fitness, that this would be like the perfect career for her, so that she gets to enjoy her work at like the comfort of her own home. And I think I've been able to capture that. I also placed a couple garden planters just in this little nook that I was just decorating, and that also is something for your Sims to be able to have a little gardening skill if they really wanted to. I thought that would be quite nice as well if the mum is stay at home or working from home, that she has the ability to, I guess, experiment herself with gardening and just maybe doing different skills around the house. I also included a bar for bartending, and that could also be another thing that the mum likes to do. I think from what I got from this family is that the dad is most likely to be the breadwinner. The mum could have come out of a high-paying job as well, and she has just decided that she's getting or stepping away from the corporate life and that she wants to do something a bit more spiritual, a bit more rewarding, and just enjoying her later years a little bit more early. And this is something that she's been able to do because the dad also has a great job, so the dad loves his job and wants to continue working up until whatever point, so the mum has the freedom to be at home and do what she wants to do. And as for the children, I kind of envisioned maybe 2 siblings, and one is a little bit older than the other, but I'd probably say about 5 or 6 years. And I wanted the siblings to be very close, like everyone in the family gets along really, really well, and there hasn't been too much pressure expected on them. They've been very lovely children, very easy to handle growing up, and they've gone to university, the both of them, and they've both come out with degrees. One could be studying at uni at the moment, and the other one could have had a degree and is looking to work a more corporate job in relation to the degree that they studied. And yeah, I just felt that this family had a bit more to them, that they're not like, with their house obviously it looks like a very stereotypical family that might live here, but I wanted them to be a little bit more different because they're actually super friendly and they're not very money orientated. They're just very down to earth and very giving people. And I think that I've been able to furnish the house and like think of potential storylines that help resonate with that. But for the most part of this build, it has been nearly 15 minutes of me just talking about the build itself, but I do think that the voice over could get cut short just around about here, to be honest, because the rest of the video will be the interior, and there's not really too much to talk about for the interior. I decided to make it like a very modern, but like a chic modern kind of vibe, and I went with a lot of whites and brown flooring, but also carpet. In some areas I wanted there to be a lot of plants. I love adding plants to my builds. I think it adds a lot of character to a room. And I also noticed that we got this really gorgeous I think it was an olive tree, and I used that in the build maybe once or twice, I'm not entirely sure. It was a combination of the there's like 2 olive trees, and I placed one in the hallway pretty soon. I think it was that one, and then there's an olive tree that I placed in the living room, and I think the 2 of them together are just so gorgeous. They're like my favorite trees to use. But I think they just kind of give a very modern feel, and in my mind I'm trying to think of like those images that I've seen on Pinterest before, and the aesthetic of the bedroom will be a bit more rustic, and they'll have a tree type plant with a ceramic pot, and there's like vases, and it just kind of screams modernism without it being too cold, and you know, so I wanted that to be the vibe of the interior. And I guess you could say it's been recently renovated, or the parents just have a good eye for interior design, I guess. But yeah, this house has an office, and I figured that could be the place where the dad works from home. The office could also double up as a place where the mum can sit and edit the videos for their yoga, and There is also a really nice living room that I am furnishing pretty much now as I'm speaking. But the living room has two little alcoves in it, and that's where the bar is placed. And I thought that it would be quite nice if the Sims could use the bar when maybe the grandparents come over, or if they host any games nights, then that could also double up and work as like an entertainment room. There's also a piano in this room as well, but it's a bit more like hidden away behind the main seating area. I don't want to take away from the living room itself. And yeah, I think this carpet, that's been a new addition to the game, and I was really excited to use it because I just, for the longest time, I've been wanting to have a very plain beige carpet, and I kid you not, the ones that we've had in base game have not been the nicest of carpets. They either had the spirals on them, or they were just like too decorative, or they were too white, or they were too yellow, and it just was not it. But now we have some really nice carpets, and I've just been so excited to use it in this build in particular, and I think I've used it in all the bedrooms, and I think it's just a very clean, very sleek look. I think it definitely makes a massive difference. But yeah, as far as this, the kitchen is pretty much the same. It has white counters. It's a bit more of a fresh vibe, and it's got like integrated dishwasher, and there's also a sofa in the kitchen as well. I thought it would just be cute to include a little sofa for social areas, just to kind of sit behind the kitchen island if they do have friends over that they're not short on space. So I think it can seat about 5 people in the kitchen. And then there is also the dining room, which is pretty much next door, and that is super bright. I really wanted there to be a lot of light in this house, and by using the white windows and then them having like either squares or little panels, I think it makes the house feel a lot more breezy, in my opinion. And there's also a bedroom on the downstairs, which is got a double bed in it, but the double bed is against the wall, so it'll probably be able to only fit one sim, which I think is fine because I think one sim would have a double bed anyway. And that is the room with the ensuite bathroom, which could be doubled up as a guest room if you wanted it to be, but it could also just be the bedroom of one of your sims as well. And there's also a laundry room, which is right next door to the kitchen, and again, this will just have washing machine and the sink in it. And I also put a toilet in there. You probably won't see me put the toilet in this build, but I do remember that I swapped out one of the counters for a toilet because I figured it would just make sense to have a toilet downstairs at least. And then upstairs, 2 of the bedrooms work really nicely together. I think one's got more of like a green color scheme, and that also has a built-in closet, which was more earmarked for the parents. And there's also a bit more of a neutral toned bedroom, which also has a smaller ensuite bathroom, which could again be for one of the children. And that pretty much sums up the build itself. Like, there aren't too many hobbies in this house. It's more about kind of just going with the couches and the decoration. Oh yes, as I can see myself including now, I've actually put in some pet bowls as well, so the family can have a dog and a cat, or 2 cats, or 2 dogs, or whatever. If you did want to include pets, you could actually swap out one of the cabinets in the laundry room next to the kitchen. You could swap that out and maybe make it like a bath so that you can bathe your dog if you do have dogs. But it's up to you how you choose to play, to be honest. But as far as this, I've pretty much just spoken about majority of the house, and I think there's about 17 more minutes of this build to go, so I'm going to end the voice note here. But please do let me know in the comments if you enjoy this build, if you enjoy voiceovers, like what kind of content you're looking for, because it's always nice to improve and see what people actually really like so that I can tailor my videos more towards them. And yeah, if you like the video, feel free to like the video and comment, and also give this channel a subscribe. But thank you so much for watching, and I'm really happy that you watched the video or enjoyed the video, and hopefully see you guys next time. Bye.